Now in Good Morning Northwest, President Trump orders strikes on Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. Why and what has to happen to get them to stop?
And not everybody's going to be lucky with the weather this morning. I'm tracking rain and snow to start your St. Patrick's Day.
And they're dancing again. We now know when, where, and who the Gonzaga Bulldogs will play in their first round of the NCAA tournament. You're watching Good Morning Northwest on 4 News Now. Thanks so much for starting your week with us. I'm Robin Nance.
And I'm Natalie Grant. Today is Monday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Very lucky to have you here with us. We're going to start things off with meteorologist Matt Gray with a look at your first alert forecast. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. But how good of a morning is it when it is snowing on St. Patrick's Day morning in places like Moscow and across Whitman County? This is Highway 26 to the west of Colfax in the Dusty area. And then here's downtown Moscow, where we've been seeing the snow on the cars that have been driving by this morning. Every 5 minutes, we get a brand new picture, and that snow still coming down across the Palouse region this morning. In fact, as temperatures have cooled off, we've actually seen in places like Colfax the rain transition to snow. And you can see here from places like Lynn to Colfax, Potlatch, Pullman, Genesee, even as far north as St. Mary's, or at least very close to St. Mary's at this point. We're starting to see a little bit of snow this morning. Taking a little bit of a zoom out, you can see areas further north, places like Sandpoint, Bonners Ferry, Spokane, and Coeur d'Alene. We're starting off clear this morning. May not stay that way, though, for the entirety of the day, especially with temperatures this morning. Definitely cold enough where we could see a little bit of snow if that area of wet weather continues its track further north. We'll take you through the track and what else you can expect as we head later into the morning coming up.
All right, Matt, thanks. So this morning, President Trump is responding to the U.S. strikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen, announcing over the weekend he ordered the U.S. military to launch decisive and powerful military action.
The strikes are considered to be the largest and most significant military action the president has taken so far during his second term. Hannah joins the Breaking Now desk. And Hannah, what are U.S. officials saying about this?
Natalie, U.S. officials say over the weekend, assets from U.S. Air Force and Navy hit Houthi targets in Yemen. So take a look at this new video we just got in this morning. It shows the aircraft taking off to carry out the attack. Now, the White House shared this photo of President Trump watching the attack from his golf course in Florida. Officials in Yemen reported that 50 people were killed and more than 100 were injured. Now, at this point, White House officials are not ruling out military action on Iran.
All options are always on the table with the president, but Iran needs to hear him loud and clear. It is completely unacceptable, and it will be stopped. The level of support that they've been providing the Houthis.
A Houthi military official said they sent retaliatory missiles and drones to attack U.S. Navy ships in the Red Sea. But a U.S. official says this is not true. And the Navy also confirmed that they did not come close to any U.S. ships in the area. In response, Houthi officials say they will not hesitate to target all American warships again. Reporting in studio, Hannah Joy, 4 News Now.
Hannah, thanks. Well, people from our community and across the world are now reacting to the chilling 911 call released Friday, more than 2 years after 4 University of Idaho students were murdered in their home.
And 4 News Now was the first to break the release of this phone call. And we now know it was one of the roommates who made the call at 11:55 a.m., nearly 8 hours after the murders took place. During the call, the surviving roommates, along with a friend, go to check on one of the victims who they thought was just unconscious. The families of Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, and Kaylee Gonzalez were notified that this call would be released to the public. Hunter Bertram spoke with Kaylee's family, who's sharing a message of compassion.
For nearly 2.5 years, Steve Gonsalves and his family have been searching for answers in the murder of their daughter, Kaylee, who was one of the 4 University of Idaho students killed in their off-campus home in November of 2022. For 27 months, much of this case has been shrouded in mystery. The 911 call released on Friday, filling in some of the blanks.
I think it provides a lot of evidence to the case. It provides a real timeline.
The phone call shows the fear and confusion from that morning. The surviving roommates repeatedly trying to get a hold of their friends before calling 911, believing they were just passed out.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up. Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night.
Steve Gonsalves tells me listening to this call forces him to relive the trauma of that afternoon. His wife, Christy, he says, can't bring herself to hear it.
But I know the other families are going through the same thing. I mean, their hearts were racing, pounding, thinking, I did this. This was one of the worst nights, if not the worst night of their lives, 2.5 years ago, and they have to relive it, and that's traumatizing. And
in the days following the call, Steve tells me he's disappointed by how the public has chosen to react to this significant development.
said, just don't attack these girls in our family's name. Don't attack them ever. That's just so low class.
Some have blamed the surviving roommates for how they handled the situation, but Steve says that's completely unfair, instead commending them for not causing any more harm.
It could have been 10 times worse. Those girls could have let 4 or 5 more people through the door, could have got the wrong person who didn't have the ethic code that these kids had and start taking photos. They could be all over. There's all these families that are all victims to this thing, and there's only one person to blame.
Suspect Brian Koberger is facing 4 counts of first-degree murder. That trial expected to begin in August. I'm Hunter Bertram for News Now.
And if you'd like to listen to the full 911 call for yourself, we have that available for you right now on our website, kxly.com.
You have less than a month to file your taxes, and this year the IRS may face some challenges. The agency, like many other government departments, is in the midst of upheaval since the Trump administration took over. Over the past 7 weeks, top key executives have left the IRS, and about 6,700 probationary employees lost their jobs last month. Despite this cut in the workforce, tax officials and professionals say they are not seeing any problems with people filing their taxes or getting refunds. There does, though, seem to be a slowdown with people who have amended their taxes in recent years and are trying to set up a payment plan. Gonzaga Bulldogs now know their March Madness fates.
They will come off a WCC title, earning an 8 seed, and will play against the 9 seed Georgia in Wichita, Kansas. Now, Gonzaga hasn't played Georgia since 2014. The Zags win in New York City then. Now, unlike Gonzaga, Georgia isn't used to dancing. This is their first tournament bid since 2015. Jack Wallace will have an in-depth look at how the Zags are reacting to Selection Sunday that's coming up in just a little bit here on Morning Sports. Go Zags! Can't wait for it to start.
It's going to be so exciting. It is now 7 minutes after 6 o'clock. And we have a very interesting morning for our St. Patty's Day. Kick things off.
That's a good word. Interesting.
Interesting.
Palouse friends, it's snowing, and it's going to keep snowing here for a little while. So some haves and have-nots in the forecast. Some lucky and unlucky, depending on your perspective. We'll show you where that wet weather's headed next, coming up.
It's almost spring, as you're going through your closet, clearing out all your clothes, you may find some items that are ready for some new life. We'll tell you what to do with them coming up.
And hot tea spilled in his lap and it paid handsomely. Coming up, why a jury is making Starbucks pay a California delivery driver $50 million when we come back. Your time is 6:11. Here's a look at what's new on Good Morning Northwest. President Trump says he plans to speak to Russian President Vladimir Putin tomorrow about a proposed ceasefire with Ukraine.
Trump says negotiators working to end the Russia-Ukraine war have already discussed dividing up certain assets. Trump's comments come after Ukraine accepted a U.S. proposed 30-day ceasefire, putting the ball in Russia's court as to whether it would accept the proposal to swiftly end the war. Putin's response so far to the Trump-backed ceasefire proposal has been ambiguous. Meetings between American negotiators with representatives from Ukraine and Russia will continue this week.
A California jury has ordered Starbucks to pay $50 million to a man burned by hot tea. Surveillance video from the Los Angeles drive-thru shows a barista handing the man a drink carrier containing 3 teas, one seemingly unsecured. The cup then spilling. His lawyers say he suffered third-degree burns on his genitals and groin and claim Starbucks had a, quote, flagrant disregard for customer safety. The lawyer for the plaintiff says he agreed to settle for $30 million if Starbucks would apologize and change its policies to prevent such an incident from happening again. But he says Starbucks declined.
Takeaways in your forecast for this morning. Some morning snow around the Palouse region. Look for some rapidly changing road conditions. Spotty afternoon showers, but drier conditions, and we'll be drying out through Tuesday.
Well, today, of course, is St. Patrick's Day, but thousands were gathering in downtown Spokane over the weekend wearing their favorite green outfit for the St. Patrick's Day parade. This event, hosted by the Friends of St. Patrick, and included festive music and even some traditional Irish dancing, which you saw. It was all to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, which of course was today. Yeah, lots of things happening in downtown. It was very busy and lots of St. Patty's Day.
They braved it too because the weather wasn't great all day.
No.
It really wasn't.
No, looked nice there though. Good Morning Northwest time is 6:13.
Now, it might be time to buy a ticket or two just ahead. How high the Powerball jackpots climbed and what the payout looks like.
You may find yourself doing some spring cleaning soon, and if you're looking for something to do with your donation pile, Allison Martinez is live with your destination. That's coming up right after this break. Welcome back. Your time right now is 6:16. The first day of spring is just a few days away now. And if you're looking for a refresh, you might want to consider cleaning out your closet.
Yeah, once you have made that donation pile, you can help children in need by donating to Teen and Kid Closet. Allison Martinez is live with what you need to know to help.
Good morning. I know many of us are going through that process right now. We're cleaning through our closet and finding things that maybe still have tags on them and are ready for a new home. Well, we've got the perfect solution for that. I'm joined by Sam and Ella this morning here at Teen and Kid Closet. Thank you so much for being with us. Can you give us a little bit of a refresher on what Teen and Kid Closet is for someone who might be unfamiliar?
We actually give away clothes for free to kids that are in foster care, at risk, homeless. And we do it based off of a referral basis.
Amazing. And so when you're curating all of these clothes and getting them all set up for kids to come in and have that shopping experience, what are you looking for? What kinds of items should people be donating?
Anything from newborn up to 22-year-old kids, jammies, pants, shirts, t-shirts, anything maybe your kid's grown out of, we'll take it. Coats as well, boots. And the list goes on.
Absolutely. And right now we're here where some of our racks are a little bit more sparse than others. What are some of those categories that maybe we need a little bit more of? I see the little boys' pajamas looks a little sparse. Anything that you're especially looking for?
We always need little boys' pants. Little boys' pants go very quickly. They wear them out. We always need those.
Yeah, absolutely. And for people who are interested in donating, what do they need to know? Where can they do that?
They can always drop it off first Saturday of the month here at the store, anytime between 8 a.m. and 2, and also all First Interstate banks around Spokane area, Post Falls, and also Coeur d'Alene.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We'll send it back to you guys in studio.
And the location, by the way, of Teen and Kid Closet is 307 East Sprague.
There you go. You can bring your stuff. Well, here is a live look as we kick off our Monday morning, a live look outside. A lot calmer here than we're seeing in maybe some other areas across our region.
Yeah, snow down in the Palouse.
I know. You can see right at the very edge of the radar picture here. We're showing Spokane, we're showing Coeur d'Alene. We know that's where a lot of you folks are watching from this morning. And it looks pretty nice, but you head right down below where my name is there, and you can see little areas of blue just kind of licking the edge here of this radar picture. So let's head further south. Let's show you what's going on. That snow coming down. Pullman, Troy, Potlatch, Colfax. Moving to the north here now, so places like Colton and Genesee, we're actually seeing a little bit of a break in the weather. Meanwhile, places like Lind and Ritzville also starting to see some of that snow begin to work its way up from the south here. Slowly but surely, we have seen that area of snow creep a little bit further and further north in Whitman County. Now, Oakdale and Rosalia on the edge of that snow. So places like Tico, like Plummer, like St. Mary's, even as far north as Rockford and Fairfield on the Washington side of the Palouse region are going to end up with at least a little bit of snow later on this morning as all of this continues to slowly track up to the north here. Here's the next 2 hours, and you can see in northern Whitman County, across Benoit County, we're going to start to see that radar begin to fill in as this weather system continues to track across the Palouse region. Now, how far north is this going to go? At this point, a little hard to say, but what I can tell you is that at least for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, I'm going to keep in a slight chance of a wintry mix up until about lunchtime. After that, we should be fairly dry. There'll be still 1 or 2 scattered showers for the rest of the day. Upper 40s here for the afternoon. We'll have a nice day on Tuesday. Just keep in mind, as spring starts Thursday, we've got more wet weather on the way. Hey, it's Monday. You know what that means. It's time for our Pet of the Week.
Big and beautiful, Sage is a 3-year-old Great Dane mix who has a heart as big as she is. Weighing in at a little over 80 pounds, she just loves to please and play with you. Sage has lived with other dogs, knows her basic commands, walks well on a leash, and is very smart. All animals at Companions Animal Center are spay or neutered, vaccinated, and microchipped before being adopted. If you have a big yard, like going on walks, and having a companion that will command attention from everyone who sees her, stop by and meet Sage. She will greet you with a smile and a long tail wag.
Oh, she is so cute.
She's at Companions Animal Center in Hayden.
Go check her out. Give her a home. Your Good Morning Northwest time right now, 6:21.
Well, the men's NCAA March Madness brackets have been announced, and the 8-seed Zags taking on the Wichita, or they're going to Wichita to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. So Gonzaga Bulldogs is a matchup of the dogs. We will tell you what you need to know ahead of Thursday's matchup next in Morning Sports.
Welcome to Morning Sports. I'm Jack Wallace. It has been a wild selection Sunday yesterday, as is usual, but Gonzaga now knows their seed, opponent, and location, and they got a little bit unlucky down as an 8 seed to play against the 9th seeded Georgia Bulldogs in Wichita, Kansas, the first ever tournament game in Wichita for the Zags. Georgia earned a 9 seed with that 4-11 quad 1 record, and this marquee win you're watching over the Florida Gators, who ended up earning a 1 seed. Dogs are also pretty solid this year, knocking off the Kentucky Wildcats by 13. That's a team that beat Gonzaga in Seattle back in December. Gonzaga is very familiar with one of the Dogs in particular. That's Asa Newell. He was a highly recruited 5-star freshman at Georgia that visited the Zags last year before deciding on the SEC school. Ryan Nimhart was among many players who spoke about Newell's great game.
Yeah, we obviously know they have a really good freshman, Asa Newell. He came here on a visit, and he went to Montverde, so I'm a little familiar with him. Fan of his game, great player, a lot of upside, so he's going to be a challenge for us to figure out. But we got a bunch of great guys over here looking forward to the challenge.
Newell's averaging 15 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist per game, shooting just over 50% from the floor. He leads the team in points and boards. So now we can look at the first round games in Wichita, a little bit bigger of the bracket. The Zags and Dogs winner will meet the winner of top-seeded Houston, they're the Big 12 champions, and the 16th-seeded SIUE Cougars, they're the Ohio Valley Conference champions. There have been only 2 1-seeds to ever lose, so maybe Gonzaga gets a little lucky here. Virginia to UMBC in 2018, Purdue to Farley Dickinson just a couple years ago, and Gonzaga would sure love upset number 3. An 8 seed has only won the national title once, 1985 Villanova, so a long way to go for Gonzaga. We'll see how that pans out. Tip-off is Thursday at 1:35 p.m. So now we can wait. Gonzaga's first practice in Kansas coming up on Wednesday, and then the games, of course, all beginning on Thursday. But that's all for morning sports. We'll catch y'all with more Gonzaga and other sports updates later on tonight.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Gene Hackman's will revealed.
Makes the world go round.
The two-time Oscar-winning actor leaving his $80 million estate to his wife and did not name his children. Investigators say Betsy Hackman died of hantavirus, a rare illness transmitted through rodents. Officials now say Betsy called a medical service the morning after she was previously thought to have died, and that timeline could now play a factor in the couple's wills.
If the information is as we believe it to be, that Betsy had passed away first, and then Gene Hackman had passed away almost a week later, then his adult children would have the strongest claim to the property within Gene Hackman's will.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we have new details on the investigation into the couple's deaths. With your GMA First Look, I'm Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
My moderate to severe Crohn's disease
and my ulcerative colitis symptoms kept me
out of the picture. Now there's Skyrizi.
I've got places to go and I'm feeling free. Control of my symptoms means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
And now I'm back in the picture.
Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi. Skyrizi is proven to help deliver remission
and help visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or UC.
Ready to get back in the picture? Ask your gastroenterologist how to take control of your Crohn's or UC with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
AbbVie could help you save.
From 4 News Now, this is Good Morning Northwest.
4 News Now Story Tracker kicking off this half hour with the stories people are talking about this morning.
You might notice some relief at the gas pump. According to Gas Buddy, prices have fallen nearly 9 cents in the past week in Spokane. That puts the average at around $3.58 a gallon, 17 cents lower than a month ago. Prices in Coeur d'Alene today hovering right around $2.99. That's just under the national average of $3.02.
The Powerball lottery jackpot has jumped to $398 million since no one matched all the numbers in Saturday's drawing. The next drawing is tonight. The jackpot will have a cash value of at least $185 million.
Good morning, Northwest. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Natalie Grant.
And I'm Robin Nance. So welcome to your Monday, March 17th. Of course, it is St. Patrick's Day. Let's check in with Matt Gray with your First Alert forecast.
All right, and we have a calm, cool start this morning around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Unfortunately, it is not that way everywhere as we are tracking some wintry weather this morning. Take a look at this across the Palouse region. Poland and Moscow now on the southern end of a band of snow that's lifting to the north and to the east here this morning. So places like Potlatch, Palouse, Colfax, right in the middle of the snowy weather. Some flurries around Ritzville, the edge of that snow trying to creep up towards Rosalia and Tico. St. Mary's, another spot where we are likely to see some snow as this continues to move across our region later this morning. So anywhere south of I-90, you should be ready through lunchtime for some rapidly changing road conditions, changes between rain and snow, all sorts of slushy, weird stuff based on elevation as we warm up through the day. For Spokane and for more so Coeur d'Alene, I'm going to give us a slight chance of a wintry mix here up until about noon. After that, some drier weather with just the occasional little sprinkle for the end of your day. We'll track that wet weather a little closer hour by hour coming up.
Thanks. Well, this morning the White House is explaining why it deported a group of Venezuelans over the weekend, even though a judge ordered those flights to be turned around.
Hannah Joy is at the Breaking Now desk. Hannah, how's the Trump administration responding to that back and forth?
Robin, the Trump administration says they did not violate the court order. This comes as hundreds of alleged Venezuelan gang members were deported. It happened just after 6 p.m. on Saturday when planes began carrying more than 200 Venezuelan prisoners from the U.S. And what followed was the Trump administration invoking the Alien Enemies Act, which is a law that allows the government to deport non-citizens without due process during wartime. Then, less than an hour later, a judge blocked the president from invoking that law and ordered the planes to turn around. But the planes never did.
The statute says you may go after enemy aliens when there is a declared war with a foreign government. The statute was never intended for a situation like this.
Many argue that the administration went against court orders, but the White House in part argues that the judge has no jurisdiction over the president's conduct of foreign affairs. However, the law does have precedent. Reporting in studio, Hannah Joy, 4 News Now.
In the University of Idaho murders case, we are getting a clear picture of the panic and fear among the morning the victims' bodies were found in this off-campus home on King Road in Moscow.
The 911 call that's been sealed for more than 2 years now was released to the public Friday afternoon, and we're about to play a portion of that call. I want to let you know it may be difficult to listen to. This comes 27 months after these 4 University of Idaho students were murdered in that home. We now know it was one of the roommates who made a call at 11:55 a.m., nearly 8 hours after the murders took place. During that call, the surviving roommates, along with a friend, go to check on one of the victims who they thought was just unconscious. Again, we want to warn you, this clip may be difficult to listen to.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out? Yeah, I'll come. Come on, but we gotta go check. But we have to. She's not waking up. Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way.
Neither the defense nor the state wanted this call released, and that's why it's been sealed for more than 2 years. Now, the state wants it to be admitted as evidence that could be used during the trial. To see why the defense is against it and to listen to the full call for yourself, you can look for this story. It's up right now on KXLY.com. A powerful storm system that tore across the U.S. over the weekend has devastated communities across multiple states with violent tornadoes, wildfires, and dust storms spun off by the massive system. At least 39 people died in storm-related incidents in 7 states. The storm unleashed a deadly wave of tornadoes across the central and southern U.S. since Friday. 80 tornadoes have been reported, with dozens confirmed.
Tonight, Spokane City Council will host a town hall meeting to hear the community's comments about the safety of the city. This town hall is happening instead of the regularly scheduled legislative session at 6 this evening. This will be at the Northeast Community Center. During the meeting, community members will have the opportunity to ask questions and share comments with City Council members about Spokane's public safety and traffic calming issues. You can sign up for public comment on KXLY.com.
Onishi, the first Crew 10 astronaut through the hatch.
Well, the SpaceX Crew 10 has successfully docked with the International Space Station. All 4 astronauts were welcomed aboard, with Spokane's Anne McLean as the leader.
And let me tell you, that is such an amazing journey. You can hardly even put it into words. The ride up on the Falcon 9, orbiting the Earth for the last couple of days, it's been absolutely incredible.
This new crew will take over the duties on the space station, so NASA astronauts Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore can return after nearly 10 months in space. They're going to be returning later this week. So exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. And isn't it just special to have Anne McLean up there representing?
So fun, leading the charge.
It's now 6:37.
And we're checking back in with meteorologist Matt Gray to look at our first alert forecast right now. It felt a little chillier this morning than we've seen.
Yeah, definitely a little chilly. I had a ton of ice that I had to scrape off the windshield. Like it was a thick layer. So certainly some wet weather this weekend probably had something to do with that. It's clear in Spokane. It is snowing in other parts of the inland Northwest. We'll take you through your day coming up.
And a warning to Washington State University about how people are picked for admission, financial aid, and hiring, saying it's based on race and background. What could be at stake for WSU and how they're responding. That's next.
Plus, over the weekend, some pretty nasty storms, including tornadoes, tore through. Good Morning Northwest is coming up after this. I know that's why.
Welcome back. Your time right now is 6:40. Washington State University is among several universities around the country to get a warning from the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights.
And this comes in the form of a letter late Friday, which issued a warning to universities about discrimination based on race, skin color, or where a person comes from. The letter specifically references white and Asian students being treated unfairly in the areas of admissions, financial aid, and hiring. The DOE claims some schools are finding backdoor methods to use race to make decisions, like favoring essays or activities that hint at a student's background. They warned that universities must treat all students equally or risk losing government funding. When we reached out to WSU about this, a spokesperson said the school had been notified of the investigation and are, quote, reviewing the notification and will cooperate with any inquiry that may occur.
In an effort to crack down on the fentanyl epidemic, the U.S. Senate passed the HALT Fentanyl Act on Friday. In 2018, President Trump signed an order temporarily categorizing fentanyl-related drugs as having high abuse potential with no accepted medical use. That's the same way cocaine and heroin are categorized. If the bill makes it through the House and is signed by the president, the classification would become permanent. Being caught with a Schedule 1 drug brings potentially stiffer penalties.
Keeping an eye on your forecast here in your 10-second takeaway. Morning snow on the Palouse region this morning. That hint of winter still lingering around here with spring just a few days away. Will dry out on Tuesday.
While it might seem like warm, dry weather is in the far distant future, now is the time to start thinking about a wildfire readiness plan. Spokane County Fire District 3 is partnering with the Washington State Department of Natural Resources to introduce the Wildfire Ready Neighbors program. This plan is designed to help you reduce wildfire risks with personalized resources, expert advice, and property assessments. We have the link to this survey on KXLY.com. It is now 6:42.
With the official spring kicking off later this week, it may give you the urge to clean out some closets in your home. We got Allison Martinez live with one way you can put those gently used clothes to good use.
As you're growing your donation pile, you may consider donating to a great cause. We're here at Teen and Kid Closet to tell you everything you need to know to donate.
Welcome back. It's 6:45. Spring is just days away, which means now's a good time for a home refresh. And as you're cleaning out your closets, you may want to consider donating to those in need.
Teen and Kid Closet gives new and gently used clothing to those who need it for free. We got Allison Martinez live there this morning to share what you need to know in order to donate. Good morning, Allison.
That's right. Good morning. As you said, we're here at Teen and Kid Closet, our very own Robin Nance's nonprofit, and I'm joined by Sean and Ella this morning. Thank you so much for being with us. We're folding, we're getting ready at the early hours of the morning. I would love to learn more about the kids that you guys connect with and that you guys get to clothe and help. Can you tell us a little bit more about who they are and where they come from?
Sure, we focus on kids being in foster system, also experiencing homelessness, and refugee kids.
Absolutely. And we are collecting these clothes, getting them ready for them to have the ultimate shopping experience in here. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but what kinds of clothes are you looking for? When people are going through their own closets, what should they keep an eye out for?
We're looking for all sizes. We serve children that are between the ages of 0 and 22. And one of the biggest needs that we have are for little boys' pants.
Mm-hmm. Good to know. So if you've got any sons out there that are ready to have their closets cleaned out, this is your place to go. Now, there are a ton of different ways to donate. We talked about you can donate your money. There's an Amazon wish list as well. And I want to talk about an event that's very exciting coming up. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think you're talking about Bourbon, Bacon, and Brews.
Of course.
Coming up on June 14th. And tickets are on sale right now. We do have an early bird special. And you can go to our website, teenkidcloset.org, and you can actually find those tickets there.
It's a blast. It's a great place to bring friends, family, and just have yourself a day for a great cause. Thank you both so much for being with us this morning. We'll send it back to you guys in studio.
Soon it'll be warm. We'll be outside at Bourbon, Bacon, and Brews.
Yeah. And if you want to get tickets or find more information about any of this stuff, teenkidcloset.org is your place.
Love to see it. All right, and here's a live look at the morning we're seeing right now. We're seeing some daylight start to appear out there, but take a look down in Moscow. There's that snowman.
Yeah, just a little different on the Palouse this morning. So yeah, let's wish you good morning from Moscow, where we've got the parking lot plows out making a little money this morning. Temperatures right at freezing. We've had the snow falling for the last 2-3 hours here. It's not added up to much, as you can see. It's just a little dusting here out on those roads in downtown Moscow. So up to half an inch around Moscow and Pullman. The next spots we're going to be watching are going to be St. Mary's and in the Silver Valley as well as southern parts of Kootenai County, and as you head into southern parts of Shoshone County here as well. So many parts of North Idaho at least have an opportunity to see a little bit of slushy snow as this weather system continues to track to the north and to the east later on this morning. So let's show you here a little bit closer where the action is right now. Some snow in Lind, Colfax, Potlatch, areas like Tico and St. Mary's. It hasn't shown up quite yet, and you can kind of see here it's gotten close over the last couple of hours, and then things have started to kind of wiggle back to the south slightly, but the overall trend is that northeast direction that all of this wet weather is moving in. So here's how it tracks over the next 2 hours or so. Northern Whitman County, southern Spokane County, Benewah County, and southern Kootenai County. These are where over the next 2 hours you should expect some snowy weather at times through that time period. By noon, most of the snow has largely moved off here with the exception of some parts of North Idaho in places like Clarkia or around Beauville, for example. Then for the afternoon, couple spotty showers, but nothing like what we will see around the Palouse region this morning. Just a very slight chance that some of that wet weather could work its way as far north as Spokane and Coeur d'Alene this morning. Afternoon is mostly dry. Tuesday's dry. First day of spring looks pretty soggy along with your weekend. We'll be right back with the Morning Sprint.
Welcome back. Your time right now is 6:53, and it's time to get you ready to take on your Monday in the morning sprint.
Matt Gray, meteorologist Matt Gray, tracking snow on the Palouse and clouds all around in your forecast.
Allison Martinez is live this morning at Teen and Kid Closet with ways you can start your spring cleaning and help some children in need.
And Hannah Joy is in studio with details on President Trump ordering strikes on Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen.
But first, the SpaceX Crew 10 has officially docked at the International Space Station.
All 4 astronauts were welcomed aboard, with Spokane's Anne McLean as the lead astronaut.
And let me tell you, that is such an amazing journey. You can hardly even put it into words. The ride up on the Falcon 9, orbiting the Earth for the last couple of days, it's been absolutely incredible.
This new crew will take over duties on the space station so NASA astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore can return home after nearly 10 months in space.
It's pretty calm in most of the inland northwest, but on the Palouse, a totally different story. We've got some light snow right now. Be ready for some rapidly changing road conditions and slushy weather as we head through the rest of your morning. Now around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, a slight chance that some of these showers make it that far north. Through about noon, we'll see a slight chance of a shower and some quieter conditions for the afternoon.
A powerful storm system that tore across the U.S. over the weekend has devastated communities across multiple states, with violent tornadoes, wildfires, and dust storms all spun off by a massive system. At least 39 people have died in storm-related incidents in 7 states. The storm unleashed a deadly wave of tornadoes across the central and southern U.S. since Friday. 80 tornadoes have been reported, with dozens of them confirmed.
While it might seem like warm, dry weather is in the far distant future for us, now is the time to start thinking about a wildfire readiness plan. Spokane County Fire District 3 is partnering with the Washington State Department of Natural Resources to introduce the Wildfire Ready Neighbors program. This plan is designed to help you reduce wildfire risks with personalized resources, expert advice, and property assessments. We have the link to this story on KXLY.com if you'd like more information.
In the University of Idaho murders case, we're now getting a clearer picture of the panic and fear the morning that the victims' bodies were found in the off-campus home on King Road in Moscow. The 911 call that's been sealed now for more than 2 years was released to the public Friday afternoon. We now know it was one of the roommates who made that call at 11:55 a.m., nearly 8 hours after the murders took place. Now, neither the defense nor the state wanted this call released. Now the state wants it to be admitted as evidence that could be used during the trial. To see why the defense is against it and to listen to the full call for yourself, look for the story on KXLY.com.
Tonight, Spokane City Council will host a town hall meeting to hear the community's comments about the safety of the city. This town hall is happening instead of the regularly scheduled legislative session at 6 this evening. This one's happening at the Northeast Community Center. During the meeting, community members had the opportunity to ask questions and share comments with city council members about Spokane's public safety and traffic calming issues. You can sign up for public comment on KXLY.com.
Spring is just days away, and if you're going through your closet, cleaning out your home, if you collect any clothes that are still new or gently used, you can consider donating them here at Teen and Kid Closet. All your new or gently used clothing items here go a long way to support kids in need. You can donate here at Teen and Kid Closet on the first Saturday of every month or to any First Interstate Bank location during regular business hours.
This morning, President Trump is responding to U.S. strikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen. The strikes are considered to be the largest and most significant military action the president has taken during his second term. Officials in Yemen reported that 50 people were killed in the attack and more than 100 were injured. A Houthi military official said they sent retaliatory missiles and drones to attack U.S. Navy ships in the Red Sea. But a U.S. official says this is not true. In response, Houthi officials say they will not hesitate to target all American warships again. For updates on this conflict in the Middle East, tune in to Good Morning America.
Well, the Gonzaga Bulldogs now know their March Madness fate. They come off of WCC title earning an 8 seed and will play against the 9 seed Georgia Bulldogs in Wichita, Kansas. Now, Gonzaga has not played Georgia since 2014, which was a Zags win in New York City. Unlike Gonzaga, Georgia isn't used to dancing. This will be their first tournament bid since 2015.
Thousands gathered downtown Spokane over the weekend wearing their favorite green outfit for the St. Patrick's Day parade, all to celebrate St. Patty's Day, which of course is today.
Cloudy skies, dry conditions here in Spokane as we are waking up this morning. It's not that case everywhere. We've got some snow on the Palouse. It's trying to work its way further north, places like St. Mary's and perhaps even Coeur d'Alene. We'll have a chance to see a shower or two later on today. Same goes for the Silver Valley. I think our chances are pretty limited around Spokane. We've got more wet weather on the way for the back end of the week. It'll be mostly rain. We could see a little bit of snow in our northern valleys with the next couple of storm systems to ring in the first days of spring.
Well, thanks so much for starting your St. Patrick's Day with us right here on Good Morning Northwest.
We will see you throughout the morning on Good Morning America, which starts right now.